thinking of nothing else but the moment that you're in.
Welcome to the party. Put in work. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the stream. What's going on? We are back. Never mind this column of light by me. I'm trying to not be in the light right now. Yes, we are back for another stream. What's going on, y'all? It's Nick here. I'm gonna run this ending video real quick. Of course, we're talking all things marketing, all things business. But we celebrate my birthday, right? This is March 31st. So yeah, we doing it right because it's March 31st. It's my birthday, and it's this last day of the month. So stay tuned for these birthday deals to get in the Kingdom Digital Academy to learn marketing and start an online business today. You know what? Perfect Creations, what's going on? How you doing? Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. Let's see how we doing. Yes. 1,700. Let's go. All right, so let's see how we can get this out here. I know we're here to have fun, but let me see. Two choices when I do this. Make moves or make excuses. If you know who I'm talking about, then you got me. My biggest enemy is me, and even I can't stop me. They try to shut us down and it ain't gon' slide. Only thing I fear is God and he on my side. That's the confidence I got, cause he got me. That's why I really feel like you can't stop me. Alright, we're celebrating tonight. So we're going to be taking some questions too at the end. But thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you so very much. We decided to go live today because, yeah, it's the 31st of March and you need to start a business. Or have we not seen the uncertainty that surrounds the American populace? Matter of fact, anywhere in the world, everywhere in the world, is more insecure financially than ever. So I am here to help people understand how to do that, how to start an online business today using this. My name is Nicholas, aka Mr. Millionaire Insight. Hello, Anita. How are you? Where in the world are you watching from, Anita? Thank you so much for joining. But also, I'm celebrating the last month of my birthday. So yes, from Pakistan. Wow. I made it definitely on that side of the world, huh? Welcome from Pakistan. Thank you so much for being in the stream. I appreciate you. So yes, as I have said, I help people learn how to monetize their social media platforms. So if that's something you want to do, Make sure you follow me and you turn on post notifications so you know when I go live and when I post videos. Join the school community at the top of the page. Go to get the first pin video at the very top of my page and get the information to get enrolled, because tonight we are having deep discounts tonight for those who enroll during the live stream in my school community to learn the skill set of marketing. Now I wish I could get this thing to not be in my face. Let me see if there's something I could do about that. Let me put on some music real quick. So yeah.
She like, OMG, know it's been a minute. Tell me where you been, huh?
Let me see if I can get this light out of my face. Give me 1 second. Let me see. I gotta do something about the sunlight, guys. Make sure and get the information at the top of the screen. Get on the email list right now. Start your online business journey today. Let me just get this light out of my face, and I'll be right back. Ask any questions you have. Shout out your state in the chat if you're in the U.S. Let's go.
But I kept it cool. Put this over on the shoulder just to say he dug the tunes. Then he let me off with a warning. We was on our way. 45 and a 50 till I hit the highway. Been about it. Glory to the Father. I don't do the drama. I went vegan for the weekend. Now I'm back to beef and broccoli. Sipping sake. Practice wabi sabi. I don't need a body. My girl got that body yaddy. When we walk inside the party, they like, OMG, know it's been a minute. Tell me where you been, huh? Been about it. Hey, back above me, man, it's getting crowded. Hey, when I'm in Cali, got it in and out it. A lot of goofies in the spot, so I'm dipping at it. Adios. In the gym, getting body. At the party, won't bother anybody. You know I always kept it solid.
Do me a favor, tap the screen and share the live as I try to make it safely back to my feet. If you're new here, my name is Nicholas Francis, aka Millionaire Insight. Thank y'all so much for being here.
ChatGPT, how do I make 6 figures online without starting a business?
You can make 6 figures online without starting a business through Airbnb co-hosting. You don't have to rent or own any properties. Let me show you how it works.
Step number 1, go to Craigslist for your local market and click on the housing category. Step number 2, click on this button to see the oldest listings.
I think these ads are so
Step
funny.
number 3, find a property that's been sitting empty for at least 20 days or longer, because that means that the landlord is losing money and needs your help. Step number 4, copy the address. Oh no.
All right, let me see. B-Day, March 31st. Really?
Yeah. That's true.
Caleb, what's going on? Thank you so much for joining. Rave, Daily Pay, what's going on? Welcome to the birthday celebration. What's going on? How you doing? How you doing, Grace? Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you.
I don't do the most, but I do a lot. I'ma make a toast, cause he's still alive. No big, I feel like pop. I shoot a shot. I'm coming in hot.
Welcome to the stream, y'all. What's going on, Rave? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. All right, so we made it back safe and reasonably. The light is out of my face. Reasonably, I say. but we're just gonna have to rock with it like that.
My life in the speaker. I'm nice with the flow.
Let's see.
I'm feeding my fam. I'm feeding the meter. They got the iron while I got the steamer.
Let's see what's going on.
Testify, I don't need a subpoena. They want my soul, better go to Korea. I love my dog.
I wish I could copy this. Like, this is perfect description. Like, this is perfect description. So as it says, celebrating my birthday month, last day, the 31st of March, deep discounts at the top of the page. Make sure you get on the list. Anybody that enrolls in the Kingdom Digital Academy tonight will be able to get deep discounts tonight. So this is the 43rd chapter. So if you feel so inclined, drop happy birthday in the chat. And also, if you are looking to start an online business, this is the place to do it with KDA. What's going on, y'all? Sweet Charity, what's going on? Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. If you are brand new here, my name is Nicholas Francis, aka Mr. Millionaire Insight. I help people establish, grow, and monetize their social media platforms. So this is the perfect place to do that. All right, so let's keep it going, y'all.
Black on black on black on black on black on black on black. You don't have to ball a rap to get them racks on racks. Uber poolers trying to catch my vibe and find my way.
Yeah, I know.
I'm ratchet, but I'm really safe. Hot sauce dripping. Everybody want to start dipping. First nobody want to listen. Now everybody pay attention. Now everybody pay a fee. Even Trump got to take a knee. When the horn blow, y'all gonna see. Make the wall fall down like.
I don't do the most, but I do a lot.
I'ma make a toast cause we still alive. No big, I feel like Pac. I shoot the shot. I'm coming in hot. Coming in hot.
Coming in hot.
Shoot that shot. Shoot that shot. Shoot, why not? Ain't no big. Ain't no big. Feel like Pac. We
can stop.
Yeah, coming in hot.
Hey, why not? Hey, why not? Hey, watch out. Where's my boards, man? Where's my boards, man? Where's my boards, man?
He's the fastest man alive. Whoa.
Let's see. I don't know what's going on with these boards, man.
They're not cops. They're not cops.
I wish I can get
I just created
this.
a $47 ebook in 3 minutes flat.
And you see, this is what we have to contend with in these days, where that ad literally said you can create an ebook in 10 minutes, which I don't doubt, but here's the thing. Even though, here's what most people won't tell you. Even after you create the ebook in 10 minutes, how are you going to get it in front of people without marketing? And that's the thing that I always try to preface with people, because few people understand what in the world, what is going on. And it's like, it's literally interrupting the stream. Like, I don't understand. Let's see. All right, let's see. I'm trying to get these boards straight. Guys, do me a huge favor. If you're not already following me, go ahead and follow me. And also, if you want to go ahead and start a business today, you can, by learning the system I did, go ahead and go to the top of my page and get the information. Let me see if I can sort this out here, because let's see if it'll allow me to edit it. And that's the thing, I'm trying to get this. It won't even allow me to edit it, bro. Like, are you serious? Like, it won't even allow me to edit it. And this is what happens when it changes things so very abruptly. But we're going to make it work. So, yeah. All right. Yeah. Wish we could get this to edit, because it could definitely make a huge difference in what we doing. All right. Look at that. Okay, so if you can't see what I'm doing right now, but one of the things I'm doing while I'm on live here is I'm looking through these AI boards. And the crazy thing is, one of them literally says the two sides of the algorithm. And this is just randomly generated by the platform itself. And I've literally talked about this 2 years ago. And people were like, what are you talking about? When I talked about the algorithm 2 years ago and how to get more views, get more exposure, get more of an audience built because of marketing, because of learning how to interact with people on this platform. And I literally shared two sides of the algorithm. People were like, bro, what are you, like, you getting too technical in this aspect, right? Which is partly why I started an academy, to put things like that in there, so people who get a little bit with the information, you know what I'm saying? Because it literally suggests it right here. Like, I know people are going to question me about this, or they're going to just basically suggest that, this can't be real, this can't be whatever it is, and see. Look at the boards, like, seriously, like, people create these, and this one says, learn how to make 4 to 5 figures a month from home, right? And obviously that's not a guarantee. That's a statement that's possible, right? That's possibility, but you want to be serious, and stuff like this, especially, like, I love this right here. And for those of y'all who are not paying attention to this, it's literally giving you a title and what you're talking about. So people who are scared to go live, listen, now is the time to go live with these boards. And this is an AI board that was created inside the system, and it literally says escape the 9 to 5 with online income, which is enough. You don't really need to be specific with the 4 to 5 figures a month from home. And people be like, why wouldn't you have that? Because that's what you talk about, isn't it? How you went from struggling and broke to learning the path to make 4 to 5 figures a month from home, because it's what you did, right? And it's like, yes, it's true, but I have a habit of telling people, we're not promising anybody anything. We're not promising anybody any outcomes, because people might want to make more than 4 to 5 figures a month from home. People might want to make less than that, because it's based on the person, based on the journey, based on what it is they want to get out of the industry, right? But that, like, it's so crazy when talking about what you want to get out of the industry. And I remember watching this video last night, me and my wife, and a guy named Nick Jones. I don't know if you guys know about who Nick Jones is, but Nick Jones is a Christian creator, and he creates these videos to reacting to people's things and reacting to different things that affect the church, and the teaching people and guiding people on how to follow Christ, right? And I'm definitely down with that, because I love Jesus too, right? And we were just sitting there watching the video, and one of the things he was reacting to is a famous site creator. It's an adult site that we will not go into, but it's a popular site there, and the guy passed away. And one of the stats that he quoted was the guy made $1.9 million a day. And watching the video, like, he was visibly and almost viscerally reacting to it, like, wow, that is a whole bunch of money. And listen, maybe my perspective has shifted that much that it doesn't seem like a lot to me. It doesn't seem like a lot. And I'm not saying it's nothing. I'm saying it doesn't seem like a whole lot, because when you realize that the digital e-learning space is $1.9 billion a day, that 1.9 million is like a drop in the bucket, right? It's like a drop in the bucket, and it's definitely one of the skills that anybody should, like, if you got half a brain cell, that's what you would be learning to do. And naturally, I want you to come here. I want you to come to the Kingdom Digital Academy and learn how to do that. Go to the top of my page and do that. Listen to me. I want that. Right? But am I the only game out there? Nope. But here's the deal. If you are serious about doing anything to make independent income in 2026, you need not to be sleeping on this. Like, everybody in America will say, and it's crazy. Even my daughter was asking me once, and she's like 9 years old. She was asking me, she was like, "Daddy, how do you know the difference between something real and what she call it? Not a phone scam. A get rich quick scheme." Yeah. She asked me what was the difference, right? And how do you know? And so we got into this conversation. And even at 9 years old, living in the US, living in America, you got tons and tons of ads for ways to make income, ways to start a business, ways to do all these different things. And it's like, Americans are exposed to it, but it's almost like they're numb to it. Because, what I'm saying, now people want to make more income and want to make more in the US, like, they want to make more, but few have courage to take that first leap, right? Because one, people have been burned. Two, people, they want to do things that, they feel like matter to them. And, it was so interesting. Like, me and my daughter were having this conversation about get rich quick schemes, and I was like, "Do you know the difference?" And almost like calling her out, like, "Do you even know what that means?" And she was like, "Yeah, Dad, I know exactly what that is. It's when people promise you something, like you could get rich and make all this money, but it's like they teach you how to, they're telling you, not teaching you, they're telling you that you can make, and she called out, I think it was like $10,000 in like the next day or so." And I was like, "Yeah, you're close." Like, there are people that actually do say that, right? There are people that actually promise and make income claims and things like that. And obviously, we didn't get into income claims and all that stuff because that's still a little bit outside of her realm. But I wanted to entertain the conversation because I want her to start recognizing what's real and what's not, especially in the digital age, right? Because anybody could say that they're making income, like anybody. Like, okay, so like you realize that, and we'll stick a pin in my daughter's conversation in a second, but I want y'all to consider something. How do you know that anybody is making money? And when I'm talking about anybody, I'm not just talking about your favorite TikTok influencer, your favorite Instagram or YouTuber or whatever. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about going to Social Blade. I'm not talking about, independent research and all that kind of stuff. I'm just talking about you watching the video. How do you know? Right? Because people in the US, they tout, we tout that we're so well informed. We tout that we're so well in hand as far as information goes, and we're like, it's easy for us to know. But is it though? Because the thing that I think about is you don't really know who is actually making money. Everybody is out here acting like they're making money, right? And one of the crazy things that I was thinking about while talking to my daughter is that how do you actually know that you can take whatever somebody else is doing and do that and make money yourself, right? And I wanted to kind of get her to understand that because one of her responses was, how do you tell the difference between a get rich quick scheme and something that's real that actually can make you wealthy? We were talking about that, and we were talking about the difference between being rich and being wealthy and things like that. And again, she's 9 years old, right? And so we're talking about that, and she was like, well, people who are legitimately, creating things to help people make money, like you could make a video, and she stopped there because she's still trying to figure out how it is people like me are actually creating content because she likes content creation. She likes it. She see her dad doing that and going live and all this stuff. So she's very much interested in that, but she doesn't know enough about it yet to actually make good on any conversation that, beyond the surface level. So I'm trying to teach her. And so I told her, I said, baby, it's a very fine line between who is real and who's doing it for real and who's not. And whether it's somebody for real and whether it's somebody that's not. Like, you see people that have the like, they made $10,000 in 30 days. Like, they have this income put up here and all that stuff. And if that's how you want to market your business, then more power to you. I don't recommend any of my students market that way. Anybody in the Kingdom Digital Academy, I always tell my students, if you can't guarantee it for yourself, how could you guarantee it for anyone outside of you, right? So since you can only guarantee it for you, you can't guarantee it for anybody else. Just don't say it, right? And we were talking about it, me and my daughter, and we was like, yeah, you need to be given, or you need to be shown something that's, one, not going to happen overnight, two, something that is geared towards showing you a skill, something to do. And even my son chimed in. He's 7, and he was like, I know what it is. And I said, what is it, son? And he said, they're teaching you something. They want to show you what you need to do to be able to make money to get rich. I said, yeah, that's very accurate. If somebody's teaching you something and it makes sense to you to be able to do that skill, because guys, what even these kids understand, because I teach, being a homeschool dad, I teach my kids about goods and services, and kind of training them and honing their knowledge and their exposure into business, because that's what I want, right? I want my kids to have the knowledge. I want my kids to have the skills to run their own business. I want my kids to have choice, right? If they will go to a 9-to-5 or not, right? I want my kids to not have to rely on a 9-to-5, but to rely on the gift God gave them and their creativity, right? Because as long as you're improving yourself every day, as long as you're continuing to give your mind the ability to grow and to change and to come up with creative ideas that can be of value to the masses, you will truly uncap your income. Like, okay, and this is not to brag at all. Like, this is not to brag at all, but tell me, okay, so you made the choice. You figured out something. You figured out a skill and learned a skill that allows you to create things online that your product, your asset, whatever, can be delivered to your potential customer the very first day that they purchase. So they hit the buy button. you deliver to them instantly that same day. You give them access that same day, right? And you can do that over and over and over and over again. Now, my very first franchise that I sold was $150. Very first franchise sold was $150. The second franchise that I sold was $300. You tell me, in the average home in America making $155 to $250 a day, if you're able to make $300 every time you deliver value like that, and you show people that, hey, I've achieved something, I would like to show you how I've achieved this thing. Like, whenever that happens, and the person goes, okay, I would like to know what you know. Why? What? Every time you show somebody that, $300 per sale is what ends up in your bank account. How many times would you want to do that? But more importantly, how unemployable are you? Because I don't know too many employers that are willing to pay $300 a day. Unlimited. Like, when I say unlimited, like per client. Like, every person you help in that business, you get $300. Now, I used to work in call center, right? I used to work in call center work. I used to process about 700 to 800 calls per day. And if you were just using, let's say you cut down my calls at like from 800 calls, 800 customers served, to about 750 for the off call, people who don't make it in, people who don't get access to me, people who don't get a pleasant result because of whatever, because I did my best in customer service. But you know what I'm saying, but not everybody, you know, I had people call me out my name and all that kind of stuff. So let's decrease all that to 750 people, right? How much would that be? Right? How much would that be? Let's see. Where is the calculator? I want to see this, right? Because you're talking about how employable would you be if you were getting paid $300 every time you serve a customer, every time you help a customer. So let's say not 800 calls, but 700 calls in my previous career, in my full-time job, before I started doing this, and this was years ago I did this, right? And let's see, where's the times button? Times 300. 300. Right? $210,000 per every customer served. If I took, because I processed 800 calls every day, right? If I were to get paid for every successful customer that I processed through that company, I would make $210,000 a day, right? So let's say conservatively, right? Let's say it's not, let's see, I would say, let's say 250 days per the year, because it's not it's not 365 days a year you're going to do that, right? So let's times that by, let's go 200. Let's make it even less, right? 200 days a year. That's $42 million. $42 million. Please tell me what 9 to 5 W-2 income arrangement is going to pay you $42 million out the gate. $42 million. Now, granted, you think about it the opposite way. You're not making that $42 million, But the company that I help process customers for, I might be headed in that neighborhood. If I was getting paid, if I was the CEO, that's probably what I would be getting paid, right? Probably, right? Let's even count that by half. $21 million. 50% off the top, right? Because I worked for, more often than not, the I worked for the subsidiary, or the well, not subsidiary, but the independent contractor of whatever company, right? Let's say it's T-Mobile or Mint Mobile or whatever. I don't even check for the wireless companies these days. Verizon or whatever it is, right? So you work for a independent contractor hiring agents and customer service. Your customer service representatives process 800 calls a day. So let's say you decrease that by 700 successful process calls at $300 per customer, right? Or per successful completed reaction or interaction, sorry, you get paid $300, right? $300. You would make $42 million a year. Please tell me what business model is doing that. This one, right? In digital franchising, where you do not design anything, do not maintain anything, do not create anything, right? But you get to make 100%. 100%. And every time I get into an interaction with somebody where they watch my content, they see a problem I had is the problem they have, and the solution I found is the solution they want. When they see that and they're like, yes, I want to be able to do that too. Yes, I want to be able to figure out how you did that too. And they go, yes, I want to purchase a course, a program, whatever it is, to learn what it is you learned, to learn the skill set you learned, to be able to do, to learn the same marketing skills, to learn the same content creation skills, to learn the same automation skills as you did to build a business for myself. Just $300. $300. And you end up conservatively, if you served 800 people, not even 800 people, if you served 700 people a day, 700 people, and let me get you to understand how this pans out. You create a piece of content that goes viral, 1 million views. That means 1 million eyeballs. Even if you took it conservatively and said 10%, 100,000 people. And let's even say more conservative than that, right? Let's say more conservative than that, 10,000 people, right? Now we were just talking about 700 people getting served successfully, but 10,000 people say that they want what it is you want, or what it is you're offering in your content, right? Let's take a look at what that is, right? So, by the way, guys, if you want to get started in the academy so you can learn how to be more valuable, learn how to be more relatable, learn how to be more consistent in your content so people find you in your marketing, I find your business, get discovered on social media, and get more customers and clients, go to the top of my page and look about the enrollment here with the pin video, the first pin video at the top of my page, and get the information today. All right? Now, so let's see, because I don't know. I don't think I'm getting pushed out. 17,000 likes. We gonna try to see if we can turn this around, y'all. If you're in the US of A, as a matter of fact, I want everybody right now, if you're passing this live stream, stop by, say hi. It's my birthday. Stop by, say hi, y'all. Stop by, say hi. It's my birthday. Stop by, say hi, and let me know what state you're tuning in from. All right, so Let me see. So, all right. So we gonna get back to the calculations in a minute. We gonna get back to the calculations in a minute. All right. Now, just give me a second here, guys. Give me a second. Give me a second. All right. And why is it so much? Yeah. Why is it so much? All right. I want to be able to get US ages. Yeah. Let me see. Business services. Let me see this thing. I don't know. I wish they would create something for people who are helping people starting businesses. Right. Let me see. All right, so let me see. Let me go back. All right, so hopefully this is successful. Let me run it for, yeah, let me do that. Oh. Let me do that though. Yeah, let me do 30 minutes. Let me see if we can get a jump start. All right. So again, let's hit this and see what is going on. All right, so we're talking about marketing. We're talking about digital businesses here. We're talking about how you can escape the 9-to-5 grind. And it's my birthday month. This is the last day of my birthday month. So make sure you say happy birthday in the chat. I appreciate you. And let me know where you are tuning in from. Let me know what state in the U.S. you're tuning in from, or around the world where you're tuning in from, because we are here to help you learn how to get your business started today. So I was talking about, before we kind of went into that intermission there, what model would you choose, right? I started in digital franchising and digital, like marketing digital products 3 years ago, 36 months ago, almost like 3 years and a week now that I've been doing it. What's up, Cindy? How you doing? If you haven't followed me already, make sure you follow me and turn on post notifications, all right? So I started in digital marketing and digital franchising, promoting digital products specifically 36 months ago. And in 36 months, I've been able to sell franchises from as low as $150 per sale to now $2,500 per sale. Now, I started talking about my second franchise. My very second franchise sold 3 years ago. It was $300. And I said to you guys that even taking my last job, right, my last career in 2022, late 2022, I processed about 700 to 800 calls a day. Now, remember, I said that you're talking about, what's up, Dean? How you doing? Thank you so much for joining, my friend. I appreciate you, bro. It's my birthday month, so say happy birthday in the chat, guys. Thank you very much. So yeah, like I'm saying, I used to process 700 calls per per day, right? Thank you, sir. I appreciate you very much. I used to process about 700 calls. So let's say 700 clients, 700 successful interactions that the company benefited from because they processed by volume, right? So successful interactions equals money for the company. And I did the math and I showed you guys where if I took that same schematic of $300 per successful interaction, that would literally work out to conservatively $42 million a year, right? $42 million. To what end, Nick? I'm glad you asked, right? What company out there in the world is paying $42 million a year without a degree, without certifications, without any kind of secondary training whatsoever, post-secondary education of any kind? Please tell me. And even if they are, let's say they were, they own you. You're not making up your schedule. You're not making up time. You're not trying to find between family time to actually do some work. No, they owned you 80, 90 hours a week. Easy. 80, 90 hours a week. And that's what you're sacrificing in order to gain that $42 million, which in this fictitious example, you're not actually going to make $42 million, right? There are actors that don't get paid $42 million, right? A year, right? There are actors that get paid way more than that, but you're talking about average and ordinary people. How is it that you can take something, take a skill set that you can study that can literally help you step by step, go from zero? This, I think it was either yesterday or Friday on the Freedom Friday podcast, which is another live stream that I do here on TikTok, that I record here from TikTok. Literally getting people to understand that, you know, you can start this for free. Like literally, what and this is the thing, and I'm not trying to be all noble and things like that, but here's the thing. Who is going to show you how to make an income using social media and tell you you can start this for free and literally give you how you can start this for free? How many people? Because I'm not money motivated. I am positive, life-changing outcome motivated. Because if I can get people monetized income, if I can show people how to make income regardless of their W-2, regardless of their 1099 that they have right now, that they can have an automated business, that because they learn marketing, learn content creation, learn the things that companies are paying for by the tens of millions, a successful marketing agency could easily make that 42 million figure because they have an account that they run marketing for, right? When you live, and I forgot this story, right? My mentor, one of my mentors, he had a guy come through his coaching business and literally was like, you know, I just want to, you know, boost my income a little bit, learn some skills. It sounds like it's cool to learn marketing and things like that, learn content creation and things like that. Yeah, that sounds like it's cool to do, right? And he literally stick by my mentor and learned the skills for, I think it was like 90 days or maybe it was a year, right? He turned around and parlayed that knowledge, parlayed that skill set into an $80,000 career, I believe it was. He parlayed that into a career. right? Because he could prove that he learned how to market. He proved that he could learn how to take content that's valuable, relatable, and that converts, and showed his employer that he deserved more money. He deserved a higher position, so he can be able to leverage what this is in order to get that business, that company that he was working for, to get him more of a leg up on the corporate ladder, right? At the very least, right? But when you consider people who learn things online, the e-learning industry, being at $1.9 billion a day, like one of the things I was talking about before we had a restart here was I was watching a YouTube video from a Christian creator that was marveling at a CEO formerly of a very, very famous inappropriate site that we're not going to mention, that people use for sinful reasons, right? These females are showing things, right? But the CEO passed away, right? He was earning $1.9 million per day. And the guy that I was watching, he was marveling at that. Wow, that's a lot of money. Wow. That's a huge chunk of change. And you can see that there is a lid. There is a lid. Like if you had said $1.9 million a year, it would have been more palatable, right? $1.9 million a year sounds a little bit more palatable. But $1.9 million per day, and then people's eyes start to glaze over. But when you consider that the e-learning industry, learning how to bake sourdough bread, learning how to change a tire, learning how to change a battery, learning how to do anything that you struggle to learn how to do, right? That Americans struggle to learn how to do, or even if they're just curious about. They just wanted to know how to make this, right? Like the other day I was looking up on YouTube how to make fluffier eggs. How many people like scrambled eggs in the chat? Right? I was looking up how to make fluffier eggs. And I looked it up on social media and I found videos. And because other creators created videos like that, I learned how to make fluffier scrambled eggs. But do you know people actually get paid for that? And this is the thing that like people, let's stop. Let's stop thinking that, is it possible? Is it real? Is it true? How do you know that anybody's doing this? I'll tell you how. It seems like a natural progression, right? Let me explain this. You learn a skill that teaches you how to create videos. But not just how to create videos that you can use to showcase a problem you had, a solution you found, and sharing that journey between problem and solution, and people will pay you for the outcome. Somebody put the word outcome in the chat for me. Does that make sense? At the very bottom line, brass tacks, this is what content creators are getting paid for, right? Problem that they had, solution that they found, and giving people the opportunity to get to where that solution can benefit them. And this is the play that people run over and over and over again. I was watching a TikTok video where this guy was just in his car driving and shooting a video, which I never recommend because that's a safety hazard, right? In traffic, just shooting a video, right? Now watch this. Same plan. Problem. solution they found to said problem they had, and giving people the opportunity to get the solution to that problem, right? Now, I'm not talking about anybody else's problems. I'm just talking about their problem. The guy is in traffic driving, and he has a different angle than most people have in cars, right? When they shoot content, right? And the guy's problem was like, most of y'all shoot video from down here, and he has a shot of the video shooting from the bottom by the steering wheel, but low down, pointing up, showing how most people shoot car videos, to how people should shoot from different angles in the car, right? So the problem was, stop shooting from angles that everybody know about, because the key is you want to stand out. The problem is having an angle of shooting video that you won't get to stand out, right? And he literally mentions, that's how videos go viral on social media, by changing the angles of how you shoot content, right? And you're wondering, how is he getting the vantage point or the view from from the other side, from the passenger side of his car? So, problem he had, not having the right viewpoint, the vantage point of the view. Solution, what is this thing that's giving him this different angle? And then where can you get that thing? So he told them the angles that he didn't get before, the angles that he's getting now, and what's giving him said angle. And he points down to the orange shopping cart below, where people can pick up this gimbal that you can put on your sun visor. How many of y'all seen those on TikTok? Right? Problem he had, solution to that problem he found, and giving people the access to be able to get said solution to said problem. Again, we're not searching the internet for problems. We're just talking about the problems we had and the solutions we have found, and giving people the ability to get the solutions to those problems. That eliminates a couple of different things. One, you don't have to be the expert. Two, you don't have to have a viral product or service. Three, that eliminates the guesswork of, how do I promote this? How do I sell this? Who knows about your problems better than you? Who knows about your life better than you? Right? Who knows about the solutions the things that you've worked out better than you? So you eliminate those problems that you had with promoting something, and you don't even have to go far to create anything like that. You're literally just telling people, listen, this is the problem that I had. This is the solution I found. This is where you can get the solution that I found. And here's step-by-step guidance to get solution. By the way, if you want to join the Kingdom Digital Academy, learn marketing, learn how to be the valuable, relatable, consistent creator so that you can get discovered on social media and become the hunted in online business, and not become the hunter, or become the hunter, or not become the hunter, but become the hunted. Go to the top of my page and get access to the Kingdom Digital Academy right now. Get the free information and get enrolled today. All right, we got enrollment plans, enrollment as low as $159, and our highest digital franchise is $2,500 per sale. So get in where you fit in and choose a lane, and you'll be able to learn marketing, learn franchising, and get something to practice with while you learn, right? So the thing that we're going back to is that it is easier to get into doing this, because everybody was like, oh, you're an influencer? How many of y'all experienced that? Oh man, you're an influencer? You create content. Oh, you have one of those, huh? Oh, so you don't have a real job. You was getting play-headed all over social media. You were getting play-headed all over the family barbecue and the family reunion, right? Okay. I just got a message from my wife. Just had my train of thought. Jeez. Just lost my train of thought, man. Golly. My wife messaged me because of our son, so I wanted to make sure that he was okay. Jeez. All right, let's backtrack. So, why would I give you the pathway to start learning content creation, learning to monetize your social media scroll, your journey on social media, learn marketing, learn all those things? Why would I give you all of that in a live training that I did over an hour long? Why would I give you that for free? Right? Why would I give you that for free just for getting on my email list? Simple. Because I want you to learn the ground floor and the basics of how to create income for yourself. Or did you not see in the United States of America where literal tens of thousands of people were packing into airports because over 3,000 people in the TSA quit? Tens of thousands of people were jamming airports. Why? Because TSA agents weren't getting paid. Federal employees weren't getting paid. And when they did say, oh, we're going to pay them, they're like, we're going to pay them up to a point. Let me tell you something. There is nothing worse than somebody jerking your money around. There is nothing worse than somebody who cares nothing for your family, nothing for your legacy, nothing for your bills, just moving the goalpost and jerking you around while your very real financial life hangs in the balance. Can I get an amen in the chat? Can you imagine what these people have to go through? Listen to me, man. 6 weeks. 6 weeks. And they were one of the top stories, putting pressure on the US government. Because the more they do this foolishness, the more they keep up with the shenanigans, the more people were calling out sick. The more people were quitting. The more there were lines backing up and congesting U.S. travel. And then the president starts a war to getting them focused not on the people who need the income, but focusing on foreign policy and not real Americans who are financially strapped right now. So why wouldn't I come out here and show Americans how to make money? Why wouldn't I come out here and show Americans a real logistical way they can use little 2 to 5 minute videos, 2 to 5 minute videos that they can create, that they will be able to say they can showcase a problem, they can showcase a solution, and they can tell people where to get that solution. And they can get paid based on showing people that solution. You want to see where that... I literally just described where they showcase it at. TikTok Shop. TikTok Shop. You see stuff all the time on your For You page or your news feed. Stuff that you might not want, but the things you bought. Think of all the things you bought over the last couple of months you've been on TikTok. Why? Because of the fact that real people had real products and they were talking about real stories, real accounts of products that they use, and they were like, yeah, you should get this. Why? Because you had a problem not being able to solve without that particular product. I just described a gimbal that's going viral on TikTok that you could get views all over your car. Right? You just put it in your visor and you get 360 views. No more holding the phone in your hand. How many creators have that hang up? They can't drive and shoot videos. You shouldn't be driving and shooting videos. That's a safety hazard. What you doing? Okay, cool. Here's a solution to be able to do that. Right? Think of many other things that you see sponsored ads right now on social media. Problems that people had, and the thing is, and here's where it's gonna matter the most to you. People that don't even realize they have a problem, don't even realize they've given thought to said problem. They come across these videos on social media, sponsored or no. They come across these videos and they're like, wow, okay, so that really could help me. And they go talk to their husband or talk to their wife or talk to their significant other. And they're like, yeah, we need to get this. Yeah, we need to invest in this. Yeah, we need to go ahead and purchase this. See, what people overthink is, they overthink the fact of purchasing a cheese grater or purchasing a microphone. It is an investment. It is an investment in your convenience. It is an investment in solving the problem that you had of not being able to do something, not being able to use something, not being able to get more time, not being able to be more efficient. And because of that, people are making millions. Why not you? That's not a process thing. That's a mindset thing. I'm not guaranteeing you $1 million in 10 minutes. No, I'm just showing you that I know how to create content that converts. That people, when I say convert, I mean that people that see value in my content want to know the problem that I solve and get access to the solution that I have, whether it's 4 a.m. in the morning or 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Whether I'm hanging out with my wife and kids or whether I'm just sitting here in my office doing work, right? When I say doing work, I mean training in my academy, helping people, answering questions. That's what my day is now. A couple hours a day. If you had told me 10 years ago that I would be literally working less than 4 hours a day and making little videos, and every time I successfully get people to understand why my digital franchise that I had worked and how it's teaching me marketing, how it's teaching me to automate my business, how it's teaching me to learn about building an email list, how it's teaching me to build a book of business, how it's teaching me to run a digital franchise, how it's teaching me to run a digital business, right? Getting the support that I needed. The minute people say, yes, I want to learn that, and they invest, I get to walk away with some, right? Before I created my own franchises, my highest selling franchise was 900. So let's do the math, huh? Let's do the math. 900. And let's use that old number. Remember I said I processed 700 calls a day? As a matter of fact, let's not do 700, right? Because even though I process literally 700 calls a day, I'm conservatively going with 700, but let's not even do that. Let's do 350. Let's say it's 350 and not 800 calls, right? So let's do 350. So let's say times 350, right? And we're terming that because we're looking at 170 million active users just on TikTok alone. You think you could find 350 people in a single year that would be interested to learn how to create income, how to monetize their content, how to learn marketing, how to learn how to get discovered on social media? You think you might be able to find 350 people? Let's see what that looks like. $900 per sale, which is the franchise that I owned in 2023. that I still have access to be able to sell, right? 300 people per year, right? Let's see how much that is. $315,000. $315,000 off of a franchise that is $900 per sale, and just talking to and getting people that want to learn how to make an income, how to learn content creation, how to learn to market a business, learn how to start a business. You think that 350 people would be sufficient? 350 people in an entire year, $350,000 in a single day, right? Now let's take that number, 350,000, or 350, right? 350, because remember I said 350, and we're going to divide that by 30, right? We're going to divide that by 30. That's 11 people. 11 people. And people are complaining about, oh, I got 100 views on my last video. I got 300 views. I got 500 views on my last video. Let's say 3 videos that you created in the last 60 days. 3 videos produce at least 100 views. Let's say conservatively, you're at 10%. What's up, Artie? How you doing? It's my birthday celebration, last month of my birthday, so we're doing it up tonight. So, let's say 100 views. Out of those 100 people, 10 people, let's say 11 people, right? They want information on how to get that. 11 people. And out of each video, 11 people. So that's 33 people, right? 33 people. Let's say of those 33 people, 3 people a day per video actually request information and they purchase something. Literally within 10 days, you can be at 11 or 12 people per month. And that number, that 11 that we said, when we divided 350 people per year, and we said we're going to divide that by 30, that's 12 people per month that say that they're interested and purchase something from you to learn. And there's multiple ways, points of entry, right? Because in my academy, you have programs as low as 150, and you have programs all the way up to $997 and $2,500 per sale. So literally 12 people, $900 a sale, and you're able to have that amount of money, $315,000. $315,000. Let's say same 300 people, because you're learning how to be more valuable, more relatable, and more consistent in your content, so you get discovered because you learn how to market, how to think like a marketer on social media, right? Let's say you get that 350 people a year now, but now the value of the franchise is not $900, it's $2,500 per sale, right? 350 people in a 12-month period, $2,500 per sale. That's 11 people per month that want to learn how to monetize their income. I'm sorry, how to monetize their scroll, how to monetize their content, how to monetize their story, their journey, how to learn to create things that are of value, problem-solving digital assets, right? So that they don't have to go back to a 9 to 5. How many people you think you might get 300 people that want to leave their 9 to 5 behind? Yes or yes? You think you might be able to get a few people to want to leave their 9 to 5 income behind? Maybe. 350 people a year. If you learn how to be more valuable, more relatable, more consistent in your content, and people find your content on social media, resonate with it because you're telling people who you are, what you do, and how it helps people, you're literally sharing with people, this is how my life changed. Again, not being the guru, not being the expert, not being the top dog, but just being somebody that is sharing real life stories. Telling people you were struggling in the beginning as a disabled husband and father, right? And learning how to create things, learning how to market, learning how to get discovered on social media, learning how to create content that converts, learning how to get found on social media, and building an international business. You think there might be 350 people in a calendar year that may want to be able to do that? That's almost $1 million. That's $875,000 because of a $2,500 franchise. A $2,500 franchise. Right? Do you think that's something that might be able to make a difference for you? How many of those you might be able to sell? What if you got that 350 people in a day? Do you want to even know what that? As a matter of fact, you do that math. You get 350 people per day to say yes to learning what you are currently learning. 350 people, right? Do that in a single day and you get $875K in a single day. Do the math on that annually. And then you start to talk about Tony Robbins numbers, Dean Graziosi numbers, right? Warren Buffett numbers, Jeff Bezos numbers. And that's only $875,000. How much money do you think these men make? Warren Buffett, how much money do you think per day he earns? Why? Because of automation, because of optimization, because of marketing, the sheer volume. Guys, come on, man. Y'all sleep. It's the most powerful skill you could ever learn, right? Let me see. Artie says, I told people who I am because life be lifing, and with that, they can relate. Yeah. But at that point, you also have to be consistent. You consistently tell people how your life is changing. This is why I tell people, talk about the fact that you were where you were, but you're not there anymore. You were there, you are here, and you are willing to teach people where not just how you got between from point A to point B, but this is where you want to go, and this is where you want to be in the next 6, 9, 12 months, and give people the opportunity to change their life by simply learning the thing that changed your life. Guys, simply, that is it. Simply, that is it. Right? That is it. But people think that is so far from being achievable when it's not. It's really not. All right. So any questions, guys? Any questions, guys? Any questions, guys? I got about 5 more minutes. So let's see. Anybody so far? Anybody? All right. So I think we're all questioned out. If y'all have any questions, please let me know. Please let me know. If you want to get more information about the Kingdom Digital Academy, go to the very top of my video, my page, and get access to that. And guys, man, like I really wish people could understand just how powerful this is. All I want to do is help people learn the skills I learned, learn marketing skills, take digital franchises that you don't have to stock, don't have to create, don't have to maintain, none of that. And you could sell them over and over and over. And best of all, they're based on what you have done, based on what you're learning, based on how you're growing. And because you're going to be learning how to mold that story into something valuable, because your journey is valuable. It's just that more people don't know why it should be valuable to them. To learn those skills. Those are the skills I learned in 2023. And it radically changed my life. Radically changed my life. Uncapped my income. As a disabled husband and father, my life changed forever when I learned marketing, when I learned digital franchising, and I poured everything that I learned into the Kingdom Digital Academy because I wanted to have a God-centered, God-led approach to learning how to make money using social media, learning marketing principles, learning digital franchising, learning how to build an email list, learning how to get automations working for you and not against you, and take the real life social media algorithms and train those algorithms to bring you people that can use your help. So if you want to know how I did that and what it is I have put together, go to the very top of my page, click on that very first video on my TikTok page, and get the information. Go to Kingdom Digital Academy at the top there where you see that in my TikTok, and get on the email list. I will send you some free information, or just put the hunted in the comments and I'll be glad to get you the information via email. And I will get you the keys to what I use to change my life. Guys, it's March. March 31st is today. If you don't do something right now to change the trajectory of your financial life, nobody else is going to. We've proven there's no such thing as a good job. We've proven that. We've proven that in America, there's no such thing as a good job. Because you work for TSA, you work for the federal government, and you figure United States government clearance, United States government job. You figure that is a good job. You can't get more secure than that. I guess not, huh? What's more secure than that is your God-given gifts, your God-given purpose, and your God-given skill sets that will set you free, that will allow you to create content that relates, create digital assets that serve people based on the problems that you had, that people have, and that you will offer people that they will pay you for. Classic principle of business. Business 101. Find a problem and solve that problem. I'm just teaching you how to automate that. I'm just teaching you how to get discovered on social media where people are already gathering at, right? On TikTok, 170 million Americans. and other countries gathering on the platform, right? Do you think you might be able to make a difference in some people's lives? Let's involve all the other social media platforms just by telling people who you are, what you do, and how it can help them. That can make the biggest difference. And we ran the numbers tonight. I have franchises from $159.95 all the way to $2,500. And for anybody who takes advantage of enrollment in the next 24 hours, I will not charge you a franchise fee. I usually charge a franchise fee of $59, regardless to which platform you choose, whether it's a digital starter at $159, the digital accelerator at $597, the digital power builder at $997, or the marketing codex at $2,500 per sale. Whichever one you choose. If you choose one of those within the next 24 hours, it's my birthday month. So I'm going to give y'all 24 hours till 8 o'clock p.m. tomorrow night, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. I'm going to give y'all 24 hours. Anybody that chooses any one of the 4 digital franchises that I have listed at the top of my page in that first pin video, you won't have to pay any franchise fee. You just pay the cost of your franchise, and that's it. Get on the email list, hit reply, tell me that you purchased on the 31st. I'll need to see a screenshot that you purchased one of my franchises, either the digital starter, the digital accelerator, digital power builder, or marketing codex. I will know the difference. If you purchase that, I won't charge you a franchise fee. And I will, listen, if you invest in any one of these learning paths, any one of these franchises, I will give you exactly what you need to be successful, to be more valuable, more relatable, and more consistent in your content, so people hunt you on social media, not the other way around. Put the hunted in the comments right now, and I'd love to give you the information. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me on my birthday month, the last day of my birthday. Thank you all so very much for doing that. I appreciate you all so very much. I thank you all for the support this month. I thank you all for all the birthday wishes. Dean, thank you for coming. Artie, thank you for coming. Nigel, thank you for coming. Everybody that came through, thank you all so much for coming through for my birthday, my last birthday day celebration, because I celebrate the all month of March. Thank y'all. 43 is going to be amazing in Jesus' name. Listen to me. Listen to me. The biggest thing I could give you is the pathway to a relationship with Jesus Christ. If you do not know him today, please, I beg of you, the Bible says today is the day of salvation. Seek him while he may be found. Seek him while he may be found. Please, guys, get to know him. It's the best decision I have ever made. Am I saying it's going to be easy? No, sir. No, ma'am. Am I saying there's going to be a bed of roses? No, sir. No, ma'am. But what I am telling you is I count it all joy, and it is the best thing I've ever done. The second thing is in business. The very first thing in business that I have done, that's the best thing I ever did, was learning digital franchising, learning automations, and learning how to create digital products and digital assets. That right there leveled everything up in my business. Serve Jesus Christ with all your heart, soul, and mind and strength. And build a business that matters. Build a business on purpose. Build a business with purpose that can help people, so you can be a conduit for blessing, not just the last stop. All right? I love y'all so much. I appreciate all of you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. I appreciate that. Join me this Friday for Freedom Friday podcast, where you get to ask your questions about marketing, about business, about franchising. Let me know what your questions are. Come with them on Friday, and you'll get to come up in the box and do that with me here as well. All right? I love y'all. Until next time, guys, live life, love God. See you when I see you.